All right, hey guys, Sam back with you here Tuesday, April 3rd. And second coin we're doing today per members voting and the polling that we do is TRX TRON to Bitcoin here. I've got it up on the 4 hour here on Binance. Not unlike what we just looked at in Verge, where we've got some interesting signs here that we have the potential now for new trends to be starting. Let's hope so. As crypto traders, we would like to see these bullish trends reestablish and this long crypto winter come to an end. Now, a few things we have to deal with here. So, just as I did with Verge, we want to look at these signals as they were coming down here. So you can see here from swing, this is where an A, B, C, we come right to the 618. Here's our target down here, unrealized. Now, just because it's there doesn't mean we must go down there. But we want to be conscious of that and recognize that we're going to have some resistance to work through if indeed we start building up a new trend here. So looking at that, even if I pull to the all the way down, so this will be significant. I got to really get it up here to get this top one. So, and then this, the all the way halfway back. Right? We can't ignore it. That will be there that we're going to have to work through. So those are not necessarily areas to be selling or changing the strategy. It's just that we want to know that they're there, that's likely resistance where we might find a pause or the beginning of a retracement. So with that established, we can now, let's go down to the 1 hour. We can look in here. It's pretty easy to spot potential for a 5 wave to be completed and now retracing. So easy. Anyone can see this, right? So there we go. There's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty straightforward. Let's lower that degree. We can go to sub-minuet. Okay, so just absolutely perfect. So from our 2 to our 3, here we come. A little deep on the 4, right? So here's our A, B, C in the 4, but we do not overlap the 1. Right? It's not uncommon to see this kind of, that's why you'll often see diagonals in the 1 wave. There's a fight for the new trend to establish. So the depth of the 4 is not uncharacteristic of where we are in this particular cycle. So here's the buy at the 50, 618 holds it, and they get their target. So what does that mean? Well, we've got a completed 5-wave structure. So pretty simple. Right, once we know that we've got that in hand, now we look for retracement. So we just wicked through the 65 here, which doesn't kill the long side. It means the algos will likely have flipped now. So when we come back the other direction, we're going to have to fight through this. So I get it right on there. We're going to have to fight through this 50 and this 618. But that is how we will make some confirmations. Now, we know that a second wave, if that's what we're looking at here, is a second wave, can go as deep as the 786. So we can still play this comfortably as a second wave. That's what we're hoping for here, is that this is the start of a new trend being established with this 5-wave structure. So with this potentially, now we don't know where that 2 comes in, but we've got that in the making. And let's go up to a larger degree. Okay, so potentially here, now if we dig into this price action here, well, that looks like potentially an A wave, a little B wave, and then I get a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, where are we now? Can we call this complete? This is not ideally what we'd look for here, but yet this could be, again, a diagonal trying to establish itself here. So that we will know based on what happens if we're going to come down here and challenge this low. Right now, this certainly is characteristic of an ABC. Looks like we might be rolling over for one more push down. So we can look at the structural support here. All right, just looking left here, where just happens to be where the golden zone is here. So we get this structural resistance here that kicked into the 2. So potentially we have this, but for this to establish, we need this to show a 5-wave structure here, at least a motive wave. Now we would clearly have, if this were to play as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a deep, and we were looking at a deep retracement here. So 1, 2, potentially 3, 4. We can't give this too much room here, so this needs to establish itself here with this kind of a move. We've got to get this up to give us a new high here. So we can objectively say potentially new trend as we have a break from lower lows and lower highs. Now we have a higher low, higher highs, high or low. Does that continue? If not, and we roll over, then we can qualify this as just an ABC. We're going back down, and now if we pull back out, does that look more like potentially an A wave going in here? That might look something like this. 3. If that's a 4, that sets us up for a 5 wave down as an A wave, which would imply lower prices. So, it's, a little soon to be declaring this new trend established, but this would be our significant tell. Are we coming down here to take out this low? Are we coming up here to take out that high to potentially have this setting up as a leading diagonal for a 1 wave? Right now, the symmetry actually, sad to say, the symmetry favors one more move down here, but the 5 wave structure would imply that's an A wave. So I'm not ready to get overly excited about this one just yet. Right? Verge was very different, right? We had the A wave, we had the 5 wave structure, but then then it just launched going in for the 2 to the 3. So a little too soon here on this one to get overly excited. Now, if you're a Tron bull, this is not an unreasonable place to perhaps consider a long position, but I'd be very tight on the stop. I would not risk much here, and I would keep the size appropriate because we have a lack of clarity here. We have 2 scenarios here that equally valid, and in fact, in my view, the 5 wave structure has better symmetry, which would imply that there's a break here. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see this start out, give us a leading diagonal for a 1 wave here, but if we have the luxury of being picky about where we put capital to work for us, I don't know that this is a place that I would be looking to make investments just yet. Now, if we get this move here and we get a little diagonal here, then I'd think long and hard and would like the idea of looking for that to complete and then come down and give me a second, because now I can trade with the probability. Oh, that's frustrating. I can play with that probability. So if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we push up. The safer way to trade that is just wait for the next 50. Right, so then we can say, okay, I've got a leading diagonal, and here's where you'd be a buyer. It's between the 50 and the 618, looking for that as a 2 to then in turn establish a move off of it. So we get 1, 2 into the 3rd. Here, as I'll often remind you, the negative 100 will be very close to the 1618. So we get a potential roadmap for that to start putting in a 5 wave structure, and then maybe we've got the start of our 3rd wave. Could just be this being the 1 wave of our 3rd wave. Could be the 1 wave of the 1st wave of the 3rd wave. Right? There's all sorts of upside potential here if we start to get back into a bullish trend cycle. So right now, too soon to call it either way. I'd be very conscious of this 5 wave structure because that looks like it has been. So by the way, if we get that, it doesn't kill the bull move. If we get that, then we know that 786 is down here. So, but that would imply the potential for this move down to an A wave. We'd look for the B and then question where does the C, right? So this is, as I've mentioned many times, the C wave through all of 2017 was being bought between the 50 and the 618. Traditional Elliott would have the C wave taking out the A wave, and now we're back down here where we've got to reevaluate. Really, do we have a 1, 2 ABC going in to set up a 3rd? That will remain to be seen. So lots of different ways that this can go. We need resolution here and now. So this is a good time to be looking at it. I'd certainly be watching this. Yet again, for a tell, can we get this to go diagonal, or are we going to take out this low and just get another A wave in, setting up the 2, which would be likely over here. All right, that's what I see, guys. All right, some good-looking, some encouraging signs that perhaps this long crypto winter is coming to an end. All right, guys. Talk to you later.